As millions of Americans hit the road for summer vacations, Congress is weighing a proposal that could put significantly heavier semi trucks on interstate highways in the future. Joining us today to tell us about the impact this can have on our roads is former police chief and a nationally recognized highway safety advocate, Chief Stephen R. Cass Stevens, retired. Good morning. How are you, Chief?
I am well. How are you?
Doing great. Congress is considering allowing heavier trucks on interstate highways. What would that mean for the average driver?
It would mean bad news if you ask me. The bill amendment is asking to increase the truck weight maximum from the current 80,000 pounds to 91,000 pounds. So they're looking to add 5.5 tons of extra weight to semi tractor trailers traveling across the country. From a law enforcement and a traffic safety perspective, the first red flag for me is the U.S. Department of Transportation did a study and found that 91,000-pound trucks have a 47% higher crash rate. And this extra weight, of course, common sense tells us, increases their stopping distance. It overtaxes the braking systems on the truck, overtaxes the suspension systems on the truck, and data has already showed us that trucks carrying this amount of weight have a higher out of service rate. So there's a lot of red flags here that tell us it's a bad idea.
Definitely sounds like a bad idea. Why do you believe trucks weighing up to 91,000 pounds could pose a greater risk on the road?
Well, what we're going to see if 91,000-pound trucks are on the road, we're going to see more crashes. What it's going to do, it's going to make every motorist in this country a guinea pig, because this 10-year pilot project is essentially saying, well, we don't know how bad it's going to get, so let's just do it for 10 years and count the number of increased crashes and injuries and fatalities, and then we'll make a decision. I'm sorry, I don't think that's the way to go about things.
I agree with you, Chief. I mean, it's like sounds like they have total disregard for us as human beings. What could heavier trucks mean for bridges, roads, and taxpayers?
So that's the other side of the coin. Besides being a traffic safety issue, it's an infrastructure issue. So Coalition Against Bigger Trucks did a study, a national study. We found over 68,000 bridges across the US could not accommodate this extra weight. And the cost to replace or to upgrade those bridges, $78 billion. Now, if you want to look specifically to Missouri and your bridge conditions, you have 24,647 bridges in Missouri. There are 15,500 almost that have already been rated in fair to poor condition. That's over 63% of your bridges statewide already. You have the fourth highest number of poor bridges in any state. So if we look even deeper, we found that 3,886 of those could not accommodate this weight, and your replacement or repair cost would be about $2.2 billion to your taxpayers.
Now, supporters call this a pilot program. What do you think? Why do you think it's a bad idea? I see that
Well,
smile on
it's a
your
bad
face.
idea. Yeah, it's a bad idea for so many reasons. So I'll try to get it down into three bullet points. Number one, it's a bad idea for the general motorist that's out there traveling the roads every day, taking their kids on vacation, taking their kids to school. It's going to put them at risk for the higher crash rate, number one. Number two, it's going to damage roads and bridges, and who's going to pay for that? There's no money in this bill for infrastructure, so this money is this bridge damage and road damage. That's going to be your taxpayers in your state. And lastly, it's really going to put small trucking companies out of business. And here's why that's true. To accommodate the extra 5.5 ton, this bill will mandate that a trucking company add an extra axle, a sixth axle onto their trailer. Well, if I'm a small trucking company, a mom and pop company with 10 truck trailers, and it cost me $10,000 per axle to add that to all 10 of my trailers, I'm out of pocket $100,000 before I get started. On top of that, I'm spending more fuel to haul this extra weight. I have more maintenance on this axle. I'm replacing more tires. I'm replacing more brakes. So for the mom and pop trucking company, it's all cost and no benefit.
One thing that's interesting about the debate is that law enforcement, truck drivers, and local officials all seem to oppose it. Why is such a broad concern?
Well, many of our coalition partners, we have the International Association of Chiefs of Police, the National Sheriff's Association, the National Troopers Coalition. So law enforcement, we all see this as a bad idea from a traffic safety perspective. You also see it's a bad idea from the infrastructure perspective. So our other partners are the mayors and managers, your city, your county, and your state roadway engineers. They get it. But also, interestingly, our coalition partners include the Truckload Carriers Association and OIDA, which is the Owner Operators Independent Drivers. These are the professionals behind the wheels of these trucks every day. They understand how dangerous it is to carry an extra 5.5 ton. That's why they're one of our partners as well.
If people are concerned about this issue, what can they do?
Best question of the day. What they can do is two simple things. Number one, I would ask them to go to our website, which is CABT.org. They will get access to all the information we just talked about. And then the next most important thing is pick up the phone, call their members of Congress, call your representatives, call your senators, tell them, please do not vote for any bill that would include an increase in truck size and weight.
Chief, one of the last things I want to ask you about is this. In our conversation, you said, hey, let's just go ahead and do it and see what happens and go from there. Why do you think they disregard us as human beings and just consider us like guinea pigs?
Well, I think, the argument is, on one side, you had US DOT saying back in 2016, there's not enough data out there that we can use to study. So US DOT says they recommend to Congress no increase in truck size or weight. So then the flip side of that is the coalition in their bill says, well, let's do this and collect the data. Well, that's not the way to get the data.
That's just crazy. It's a total disregard for people and human beings and lives. It really is. I've been speaking with Chief Stephen Cass Stevens. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate the information you gave us today. Thank you.
I really appreciate you taking the time for me. Thanks.
Thanks.